how to practice your exercise program. There's a few simple principles to follow when you're doing your exercises. The first rule is to always be comfortable. Comfortable means that you have that sense that it's not straining or too tense, and that there's no discomfort. Especially, watch out for discomfort that increases as you keep exercising. So if you feel like you're getting worse and more uncomfortable as you go, then maybe that exercise isn't right for you and you need to change something. So you leave it out and check back with your therapist to see if there's anything you need to change to keep it comfortable. The other thing about exercise is you want to feel in good control. Control means that you don't have wobbles and shakes, and that you're able to keep the body aligned as you need for the exercise. So when you exercise, especially as you get tired, you may find that you lose control. So this may be the time when you need to rest and have a break. The third thing is to have that sense of ease in your body. Now, ease doesn't mean that there's not effort. So you're going to feel the effort in your muscles, but you want to have a sense of ease around the joint area so that the joints don't feel tense and strained and uncomfortable. Almost like you feel like there's a space in the joints rather than a tension or stress. The other thing to be mindful of is how we progress your exercises. So there's a simple rule that we call slow progressive overload. What that means is that when you progress, you do it in very small increments, small steps. No more than about 5 or 10% change at a time. What happens if you change too quickly is that your body tissues can get overloaded, and this can lead to pain, discomfort, or you're not progressing as you would like. The second thing is this progression. So if you just keep doing exactly the same thing, then your body gets used to that, and then no more change will occur. To keep the change, to keep the ability for the body to adapt and to get better, you need to make small changes, more small little challenges that's going to help it to get a little bit more. So you can challenge it in things by doing a heavier load, more weight, more resistant. You can do more repetitions of this exercise. You could do more sets. Instead of one set, you could do 2 or 3 sets of that exercise. You could go from shorter rests between exercise, so from longer rests between exercise to shorter rests, so you have to recover a bit quicker. Or you can even do more frequency of that exercise through the week. So instead of doing it twice a week, you do it 3 times a week or 4 times a week. So these are all different ways that you can bring in progression. But remember, always make the changes small so it doesn't overload too much. The other important principle is remember to give your body a chance of time to recover from exercise. So the next time you do the exercise, you should feel like you're recovered, that you don't have any soreness or fatigue. And fatigue could be that you feel a bit shaky or a bit weaker than you normally would. Another indicator if you haven't recovered properly is that if you're aware of your heart rate, when you first wake up in the morning, if your heart rate seems to be a bit higher than normal, then maybe your body's under a bit of stress and you need to give it a little bit longer time for recovery. Additional exercise tips. Another important thing to remember is always to breathe when you exercise. So either you're going to inhale or exhale. Rarely do we want you to hold your breath unless there's a particular type of exercise where you need to do that. But most of the time, remember to breathe in or to breathe out. This helps you to not create too much inner tension and inner discomfort. The other thing we do when we do exercise is that we help to desensitize your body, and we help it to build tolerance so that it can cope better without causing discomfort in your body. So we do this by building up the endurance or building up the strength and resilience of your body in a slow, progressive way. So this is a really important part of the exercise process. So to do this, maybe when you first start movement, you might feel that just this little bit of discomfort, but then as you keep going, you notice, it starts to feel a bit better, it starts to feel a bit easier. This means that you are building up that exercise tolerance, and that's really good. However, the opposite is that if you're overdoing it, you're doing too much, or maybe the exercise is not quite right for you, you start with doing the exercise in a little bit of pain, but actually it keeps getting worse and worse as you do each repetition. This type of exercise is not helping you to build tolerance. It's actually building more intolerance. So it's best not to keep going with this type of activity that makes you feel more and more uncomfortable. In this situation, you're best to stop and either look for an alternative type of exercise or check back with your therapist if you need to make some changes to how you're doing things. Sometimes it can be your technique, maybe you're holding a bit of unconscious tension that you're not aware of, maybe it's how you're using your breathing, or maybe it's the position you're in, and if you change position it might feel better. So that's the key thing with exercise, is that there's no right way, there's no real wrong way, it's just what's right for you at that time. This is the key thing. And sometimes we just got to do a little play and exploration until we find that right way of doing it. That gives you that ability to get better, stronger, fitter, healthier, and more tolerant, so that you feel like you don't have as much discomfort and better ability to cope with all those activities that you want to do in life. This is the goal of your exercise practice, to help you live your life much better. The last thing to be mindful of with your exercise is to find something that you enjoy and that you can keep going with. So exercise only helps when you practice. So if we're not doing it, then nothing's going to change. So hopefully these few little tips helped you, and enjoy your exercise, and until next time,